your government is big enough to give you everything you want. It is big enough to take away everything you have. Welcome to the Spearhead Transmission.
With your hosts, Nick Brand. And Michael May.
This is Spearhead Transmission.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Spearhead Transmission. It's July 18th, 2018. It's time to break those chains and water that tree. Dude, my phone's seriously jacking up. It's getting the black screen.
Yeah, did you download an update?
I just got this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 months ago, not a year.
It's Apple's magic way of saying it's time to get a new phone. Well, Pawnee Run and Gun Recap.
Yeah, so is that what we're talking about on this one?
Yeah. Well, we've got two guests
We have in the house.
in the house.
Yeah.
Everybody's
we gotta
hounding us about guests. We got superstar guests.
And we got to share microphones.
So
So
it's kind of. I
Shane's
got my
gonna-
hand on
Shane's
Russ's
gonna-
leg right now.
Shane's going to sit in my lap. So we have Russ and Shane. Can we use your real names? Or those are fake names.
Danger
right?
Russ.
That's right.
That's what he's known for.
DR.
And
And the Titan.
Titan, yeah, well known amongst
Well,
the
yeah.
run and gun community. I was reading that Facebook page. Dude, you're like a celebrity on there. Everyone's
Really?
talking
I've never
about,
been on that Facebook page.
like leg tattoos and how handsome he is and all this other stuff. It's really fucking bothering me. Like I don't.
It's getting to you?
Yeah, I don't like it at all. But yeah, so we finished. We all completed it on.
This weekend.
Yeah, this past weekend. And
Some of us were fortunate enough to run on Saturday.
It was. Did you go on Friday?
I ran
Yeah,
on
Russ.
Friday.
Russ, that's
walked
Russ.
on Friday.
Yeah, you got to use the mic. This gonna be.
I walked on Friday. There.
It's gonna be like what was that movie? It's not Silence of the Lambs. Those kids on that island, they have the conch. Fat fuck.
Piggy, Lord of the Flies.
Who got the conch? Lord of the Flies. Yeah. So like,
See, you're hogging it. You're not
you
letting
can't-
Shane talk.
I'm gonna hand it to him.
Uh-huh.
But
So what do you think, Shane?
yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yeah. So it was a learning experience, as it always is. It was fun.
Every fucking time.
I had-
Sorry, Judge. Just not supposed to swear. His grandkids listen.
I had a lot
Oh.
of good time doing it, but I let myself down. I feel like I didn't push myself as hard as I could have. Being cautious canoe, and
What happened? You're terrified of dying?
I didn't want to die, and I think that's it. And then at one point, man, like Mike always tells me, he's like, what one thing I like about you is even if I keep looking right at your crotch because it's right in line
I've
with
got
my
a moose
face.
knuckle, so-
It's fun. Those shorts are hideous.
I know. They're pretty bad, aren't they? Look at it. Yeah.
Stretchy shorts are the best.
It's a run and gun podcast. So
Hey,
what
came
would I run in?
prepared.
Go get your outfit on.
Looks like one of those drowned toads I pulled out of my pool. But like Mike's like, man, even those times that you completely fuck something up and DQ and there's no chance of winning, you still finish it. So when I DQ'd that stage, it's like, you know what? It's fucking hot. I might as well just, quit
Gave
or
up.
whatever. And I was like, no, fuck this. I'm going to,
Was I in your head?
Yeah,
Was I like
exactly.
that black guy?
I was
the
like,
the
yeah.
motivational
Yeah.
speaker?
yeah, if you can look up, you can get up. Yeah, so
Don't give up, Nick.
see this real quick. I'm not going to change subjects, but I'm getting on this airline tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Alley
And they're-
Giant.
Yeah, and they're threatening to strike at any moment. So,
Really?
what's that mean if you're in the air? They just bring it down?
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, fellas, we gotta we're bringing it in to the closest airport because I got to get a picket out.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you're...
So back to run and gun. Sorry, I'm hot. I'm taking over this podcast.
All right, go ahead.
All three of you complained,
Wait,
pretty much.
about what?
I
Well, I mean,
complain
not
all the time. That's
complaining.
all this podcast.
No, I'm just
is.
saying. All three of you have kind of said this one kind of disgruntled you a little bit. So what?
Dangerous music.
All right.
Look.
Oh, sweet.
All right, go ahead.
I can't hear it. I don't have headphones. So, what?
That does
What was-
remind me of you.
What was the difference? What'd you guys do different this time than you did any other time.
You mean my disgruntledness?
Yeah, I mean,
Most of my disgruntledness revolves around the fact that I'm not strong at pistol. So when something challenges my pistol skills, it sucks. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
I mean, that's really my complaint, but it's not really a complaint. It's just me trying to find an excuse to say why I did poorly.
What was yours, Shane?
I was just mad at myself because I lost by such a slim margin. When I just would as soon be 10th place as second place, because then you're like second guessing yourself, right? And it's not about winning. It's just you think you trained that hard, and and you feel like you let yourself down because you're like, I melted down on one stage. You think, well, if I would have just done just a few things differently. So to me, it's just you almost feel like you kind of let yourself down.
So here's my thing is that if you don't notice already, I always try to game the system. Like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna introduce a new rifle into this.
You're a gamer.
Yeah, I'm a gamer, right? And so I want to win. It's
Also
obvious
known
by
as a cheater.
my Superman outfit that I wore.
I
And
played paintball with you too. You gamed that.
well, you just got to make
Shot
me
that
quit.
guy 8 times.
He didn't quit. No, but so I want to, and I got to stop doing that. But I feel like I can get an advantage.
Well, I was wondering why 2 weeks before you showed up with a completely different rifle than you were shooting, and like, I'm gonna try this out. Like,
But it's because I feel like I can get the advantage, right? Like I'm like, all right, this is Garrett's rifle. This thing is going to be the best rifle on the planet. It worked fine.
Yeah.
It worked fine. I had to.
it's literally the Indian, not the arrow.
I know.
so racist.
I know.
So-
I said it.
So by taking 6th, I probably I can't claim
I was
that.
7th, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
still can't claim that because of the temperature difference, right? Like I
No,
feel like,
you can. You can because it's the luck of the draw. I did it in Pecos. I've had times where I ran in the morning and it fucking rained and it was cooler out.
Well, here's the deal. So like when I took off on Saturday morning, right? I went over to the 5K stage. Well, I didn't know what time I was going to start, so I filled my water up, as a pretty good clip or a pretty good clip because I thought, okay, I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to sit over there. Wait, will they have water over there? I want to stay hydrated before I start. So I got over there, and I had probably 6 pounds of water in my thing. I didn't drink hardly any of it on that 5K because it was so cool.
I drank all mine.
Right, it was so cool, so if I could have done things different, it would have been less water, keep with my normal gear.
But y'all finished top 10. What, 2?
Yeah. Yeah,
7?
you were second, right?
Shane the Titan was second.
I made 7th. Mike made 6th.
Okay, you guys want to know what I made?
Yeah.
57th.
What did you make last year?
58th.
See?
I man.
No,
At least you're moving up.
but I'm a.
Did you DQ anything?
No, I'm an average shooter, below average runner,
Yeah.
so that's my problem.
See, and that's the thing too. Is like right now, I mean, all of us are all fired up. Like it's bullshit, man. I don't like being fucking kicked out of the champions ring or whatever. Like this is my area, right? Like these guys coming in from out of town, but the dudes that came in from out of town like put more time into preparing.
Right.
Better athletes, better shooting. I mean, it's just like that's what it is. But I don't like that, So like right now, I'm gonna do this and do that.
Right,
like yesterday's
our workout.
Yesterday's workout completely
Locals only.
destroyed me, right?
Yeah.
And
I got to say something, though. I mean, kudos to those guys, especially the Ohio and Indiana guys, because everybody's always known that their shooting's just been off the charts. But physically, that's where we beat them, if we beat them. So what do? They go start. That's what they focus on. They focus on their weakness, and now they've shored that up. And so us guys that are strong runners but can't shoot as well, it's easy to focus on what you're already good at. But to put all the emphasis on your weaks, and that's what we need to be doing. Or anybody.
Psych trombone clan.
I'm weak at everything.
Well, I think I'm inconsistent at best, right? So I'll be like, I know that I can run okay. I mean, I can run fair, not I can run fair, not like blazing fast, but I can shoot okay, right? Like, but not like there will be stages where I'm in the bottom of it, right? In the bottom of the the group. I'll be like, God dang it, I should be better than this. And I know that people say, oh well, it's because you need to shoot more. It is because you need to shoot more, but you gotta
have a balance.
Yeah,
it's not like, I mean, I like doing these, but it's not like that's all, I'm gonna do. But I don't want anyone to think I'm dogging them. I feel like we're on a good enough level to where they know. I mean, I'm proud of them. They did a good job. It's amazing accomplishment to take, first in all three, competitions that you enter in. That's that's a really good job. And I do. I mean, to stop and like you or Shane, in the past would said I'm doing this and this and this. Like, damn it, man, because I want all you to win, but I want to beat you at the same time. And so when I hear Shane's dragging around a tractor tire in a pasture and I'm running on a paved sidewalk at lunchtime, like, well, shit, man. And that, but it's good that people. I like it all over because, number one, it makes the competition harder. Like, it's no fun to say, like, oh, I got first place with a bunch of people that are limp and lame and can't do this or that. It's like that Seinfeld where Kramer's like head of his karate class, but it's all like kids, right? So, like, it feels you want the competition to be right.
Well, we just saw a guy come from Montana. He just destroyed the competition.
He never ran one of these before? Ever?
No, but Shane said he ran the Spartan Beast. Oh. Which is, I guess, tough.
You should take the guns.
Yeah, he does like to competitively shoot, and he does like to run those obstacle courses, so...
And he's 25.
And he's young, too, yeah. And so he came in and
did he go on the cheating day and the cool day, your day?
He did.
The fall day?
He did cheat. And he started early like Shane, how Shane cheated.
Yeah. You guys had long sleeve shirts on.
I did wear long sleeve shirts.
Just to clarify for the audience, three of us did the 15K, and this was the first year that anybody done 15K. Mm-hmm. In the past, it was the 20.
20, yeah.
And as it's been well publicized, a lot of us nearly died doing that.
A lot of people did die.
Switched it to the 15K, but I still think there was a lot of hesitancy about how is it going to be that much easier? And then to see the guys on Friday get through it and not look near as bad, and you knew it was hot. Uh-huh. So then on Saturday when it was a lot cooler, I think Mike and I and some others were like, well, we're just going to run like our hair's on fire because the weather's cooler and those guys
I'm not going to die.
Yesterday. Yes.
I saw Nick not die.
Well, see, and dude, you guys are in my head because I was running around. I was like, and all I could hear was, if you think you're going too slow, slow down. And I was like, fuck, man, do I need to slow down? Am I going, like, I'd take off jogging a little bit and like, well, and I'd spit water on my arms, because I kept checking, like, am I sweating still? Yeah, I'm sweating, like spit water on me. And, I drank a liter of water and a liter of friggin' scratch on the 10K and then a liter of water and half a liter of scratch on the 5. And I was peeing the entire time, right? Like, the entire time.
Wow.
And
did you cramp?
I started to at the very end of the 10K. But I will say this, like, that 20K is a fucking, in the summer, is a ball buster. Yeah, that 15 in the summer is hard, but it's not anything like that 20.
You're not knocking on death's door.
Yeah, it's not like, I don't even, like, when I got back on that 15, I was like, no, I can't imagine going back to the other side.
I was ready to go again when I got back last time.
Did it take you very long to recover? I mean, when you finished?
No, see, I was like, fuck, I should have ran harder.
Right.
I was like, I still got a ton left in me, and I
felt like I was going to die for about 5 or 10 minutes. But I also feel like it's a race, so you should feel that way. Because if you don't,
I tried, but I didn't realize I didn't realize I had that much left.
I went and ate some, for the people who weren't there, they, Al and Daniel, they put on a great show, and they had a guy frying just tons of fish up. Uh-huh. And so I went and got me some fish, and all the cramps went away, and I recovered, in 10 minutes, I felt fine. Mm-hmm. As opposed to last year after the 20K where it took 24 hours. Yeah, forever, before you felt like you could even function. So,
last summer, I didn't feel right until like the following week. It took me like 6
Well, I ran
days.
a lot slower than you guys. It was 20 minutes slower than what you.
I like to say 30.
Does it get closer each time? Because I was thinking it was like 35.
It's not. It's 22, something like that.
But you were asking why we wore long sleeves, so I was trying to
That's where I was going.
like. So I think I'm getting rid of my straw hat. I mean, it's nice, kept the sun off me, but it like when I was doing that barbed wire stuff.
Ridiculous is
Yeah,
what it is.
I felt like I was carrying one of those rice pans,
Yeah.
you know,
You
and
look
like
like
trying to drag it underneath it and stuff.
Nick looked like a migrant worker. Like I thought you were going to be selling tomatoes on the side of the road.
Well, it's funny because I chose a lot of my clothing based on like some concrete finishers or some guys I saw at work. I was like, dude, those guys are out in the sun all day, hot as shit. It's like they all have long sleeves on. Some of them wear those damn like offshore fishing or like ninja masks, you know, like and straw hats and stuff. I'm like, well, they're out there all day busting their ass. Like that must be the way to stay cool. So I went and bought one of those fisherman, like quick dry vintage shirts. And I didn't notice it being any hotter than my favorite T-shirt that I always wear these things. But that T-shirt when it gets wet, that cotton T-shirt, I mean, it feels like a wet garbage sack on me, you know. And it's all hot, it doesn't cool off. So I like the shirt. I got to change of hats. No,
I'm keeping my compression. I'm keeping my compression suit.
Your motion capture suit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just get green.
Right,
next
yeah.
time. Then I can just I can act like I ran.
Just
it,
get rid of
didn't
the
really run.
shorts and just wear it just all white.
It's obscene, dude.
We'll hook tennis balls all over it.
No,
all your
but I'm
joints.
keeping that in the whole reasoning is because exactly after we talked about it that day prior to the run and gun, you were like, I'm getting that, and you said, oh well, you were reading about how the best way to deal with the heat is to limit sun exposure to the actual skin, and that's exactly what it does. I mean, just think about it. Look at the fucking people in the middle of the East, right? That run around in the desert. They're wearing blankets all over their whole body, right? And they're cool.
It's a dry heat.
But the deal was that
It is
stayed wet. So mine stayed wet, although it wasn't hot that day, right? Like
It was
wasn't-
hot. I mean, this wasn't as hot.
It wasn't
as hard as when
I tested it
Russ
out
and I
on a
ran.
day that was way hotter, right? And it worked beautifully.
I'm just really glad that it was last weekend and not this weekend, because this weekend it's supposed to be like 106 tomorrow or something.
Really?
Like the high, yeah, like ridiculous hot.
It's been
Like last year hot.
rainy.
Yeah, right. Like
what's going on?
I had to mow my yard before I leave,
Uh-huh.
and which if someone's gonna rob
You're
my
not.
house.
You're
There's
not
gonna
leaving.
be
You're just
someone.
going.
There's
down
gonna
the
be
street.
someone staying at my house. So watching my dogs. That's why I don't really care if I'm staying or not. But since Carl won't do it, but he backed out on me.
This thing, he could be tag teaming.
Yeah, but
I just can't say that on the
Carl tear it up.
so I was out there mowing and the whole riding lawnmower, doing the whole like, what the hell, man? Let's mowed this thing. All this rain, this shit's thick, green, luscious. But
Yeah.
anyway, I wanted to talk about when we're talking about the running gun, like just go through this course of fire. I wanted to see if you like the stages or not, or what your thoughts on them are too.
Well, I'm
So,
disgruntled about a couple.
yeah, because you did poorly.
I shot 56 rounds at one. I did it though in 80 seconds with 56 rounds.
So real quick before you do that, what's your loadout for you guys? You guys are top finishers, so I'd like to know how many mags you're taking
Okay.
and all this.
And so you start. You got to say the reasoning behind it too.
Yeah.
'cause Some of
so,
it's ridiculous.
So
I'm talking about mine's ridiculous.
And just base it on the 10K. Let's just say that.
Okay. So for a 10K, so for a 10K, what I'm going to carry is and if it was the say it was the temperature I'm
Is it
preparing
summer or
for.
winter?
Summer.
Do this one.
Am
This
I
last
happy or sad?
You're sad. All right. So in other words, you finished out of the top 3. All right. So that means you're sad. So now you want to redeem yourself. So I carry 2 Camelback bladders. Okay.
one. Okay.
One large one and one small one. I fill the large one up about 2/3 of the way with water. The second one I fill up with I put about 40 to 50 ounces of Scratch electrolyte mix in there. Right. I carry 3 goos with me. Those are electrolyte or amino acids and glucose, right? It's a gel that you just squirt in your mouth, right?
You do that for a 10K.
For a 10K, right?
5 before and then every 45, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I take these. I used to use the buffered salt tabs, but this time I used the salt sticks, which worked better. Like my stomach didn't get
Salt
upset
sticks.
at all. Yeah, I carried a salt block with me. This
You got a horse?
no, they're chewable
I was
salt.
just thinking of a sweaty penis. That's right.
They're chewable salt. They call them salt sticks, and they're chewable, so they work great. But I took that 15 minutes before I started, and then as far as my gear, right? As far as my gear goes, I use a Safariland holster for my pistol. I carry, depending on the course of fire and knowing what I was going to run into on this one where I had the tree, I knew that my pistol was going to need a lot of ammo. So I carried the 31 or 33 round magazine, the Glock 33 round magazine, and then 3 other 22 round Glock magazines, right? So I had a lot of ammo. Okay, and then my rifle, I carried one 40 round magazine with 38 bullets in it, right? So I didn't have any of that feed issues. And then two other 30 round magazines. So my rifle, that's all I carried. So I carried 98 rounds, right? And I always come back with a ton, but I hate when I see people out there that run out and then that's a huge demotivator. And I feel like I can carry the weight, right? I can carry the weight, and so if I feel like I can carry the weight, sure, it's going to slow me down a little bit. But if I just think,
plus it starts going away.
Yeah, and
you start feeling it, like,
and you feel confident with, like, I can be like, bam, 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 bam. Oh, I know I hit that. Run on. You know what I mean? That's my mentality behind it.
All right.
I carried, for the 10K, I carried 3 30-round mags for rifle and 5 15 for pistol. So what's that, 65 pistol? And I had, but a lot of it was, I mean, normally I wouldn't carry near that much. And I had a whole 30-round mag left. And pistol was the same way. I think I had a mag and a half. But when you get to that dueling tree, you don't know, that's an ammo suck right there.
Right.
And
Well, that's 12 hits. Number one, that's a lot of hits.
Well, I remember last year during the winter, RO on the stage beside there, and hearing Nick and Al over there just banging away, like I'm counting, like, damn, they just went through 3 mags. They must have. I can hear. I'm counting. It was like 45 rounds. And so I mean, it can happen if that stage goes bad. But then I carried. I normally just carry 2 liters of fluid, and this time I carried 3 because I'd done the 5K before, and I was trying to avoid cramps. So I carried 3 liters of water. I had the scratch electrolytes in it. I had a couple gels, the Goo Roctanes.
So did you? Yeah, that's what I used. Did you not have water alone?
No.
There's where your cramps were, man.
Perhaps
that's what it came from.
In between the stages, I had an energy bar, like about 200 calorie energy bar, one of those survival things, and so I felt really good up until about halfway through the 10K, and then the old nemesis came back and I started getting the cramps, and I had salt tabs with me, but at that point, it was, the damage was already done and I couldn't pull myself out of it.
I carry the pickle juice for the cramps. I didn't cramp though. So
and I was talking with my running coach about it yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
Holy hell. You're deep, man.
How do I get a running coach?
You got one.
I need a shooting coach, a running coach.
I guess I pushed it too hard, because when I was in training, I did some pretty long training runs in the middle of the day with I was plate carrier one day. It was up to 46.5 pounds, and I couldn't replicate. I wasn't getting any cramps whatsoever. I would take off in the middle of the day with the plate carrier and run up to 12 miles and no cramps. And then you got to the running gun and here come the cramps. And he said, you just probably, but I was redlining it for my age. about my heart rate needs to be about 135 to 140 to be in just a regular cardio state. 170 is a red line, and I was at, according to my watch heart rate monitor, I was over 170 for the last 70 minutes. And that's just too much. When you do that, you are going to, and you just try to push through it and make the best of it. And sometimes the wheels come off, kind of like they did at the end of my 10K, and sometimes it works out for you. But that's part of it. You live and you learn, right? And then you try to train harder and improve next time.
When you came to my stage, I think it was the second lap, you said you were doing a 9.5 minute mile.
At the end of the 5K.
Yeah. Oh, that was the end of the 5K?
Yeah, and I made a conscious decision that with the weather being good, that I was just going to run instead of my normal, like I've always told Mike, start out slow. If you think you're starting too slow, slow down even more. I felt good, and I felt like my training was there, and even my wife was like, hey, you just need to freaking go for it. The weather's good and everything. So I took off on that 5K, and on that road back, I was at about 9:30 pace for most of the way. And then I slowed down on the 10K. I was at about a little over 11, I think, on the road back. But then where I really screwed up was once I got to the back side on stage 4, 5, and 6, that's when the cramps really started, and I was having to slow down and even walk some. And plus from, little things, Nick said this for a long time, is all it takes is like either one stage or one little mistake on a deal like that, with the competition being that tough, and that can cost you. And that's what happened. Like, I didn't have, I decided to wear those little running shorts. I didn't have any good pockets, so all my goo was in my pack. So every time I had to get a goo or salt tablet or anything, I was having to take my rifle off and swing my pack around. Well, before you know it, there's a minute. 2 minutes.
Yeah, I do it there. I wore that little fanny pack, and the card, your range card, right? Well, fuck, I won't do this again, and I was pissed at myself for doing it. But I would put it in that fanny pack, right, and I would have to unzip it. Well, it was too big to fit in in the zipper that I wanted to put it in, but that was the most accessible, and I fought that over and over and over. So I would say probably 3 minutes, 4 minutes of my time was just messing with that thing constantly, being like, God dang it, and it'd be slowing me down. So there's things there that like you refine and you find, just like you said.
Well, it's what my parents are always like, you'll do really good at that. You always do so good on them, and it's what I always tell them, like, it's this one little hiccup, like, you misjudge something, and then you're, well, I'm not in the running anymore for the top 3 or anything, because it's like that from that motivational video I always listen to before these things that says greatness is a lot of small things done well. I mean, that reminds me of the running gun, because all you got to do, like, all right, got to do this. I got to run well. Shoot, that was good. That stage was good. I was, sub 20 seconds or sub 30 seconds on that, and come to the next one, like, da-da-da. And then, that's what's hard is like, shit, man, that one was like 45 or a minute something.
Or
like
DNF.
Yeah, like, oh, fuck, And then you start thinking, well, who else? Then that's when I start like running to catch up with people. Did you DQ any stage? Yeah, I won. Whew. Okay, maybe I'm still in it. Maybe I've still got it, But usually doesn't happen if you DQ a stage.
What was your loadout?
All right, so mine, I carry 5 fully loaded 30-round AR mags because, number one, I'd rather suffer and have leftover, which I always do. I always have leftover now, but one year I didn't, and I fucking ran out on the last stage, and I had 2 hits left. I mean, I was digging around the grass for rifle rounds, So I was like, I'm never doing that again, because that was the worst feeling. Like, the rest of the run was great. The stages were great, and then you just like, I mean, just because and this is what I do. Like, if I start shooting something and it's not happening, like, what, my optics off. What the fuck? Why is well, what happened? I hit it on something. Let me start moving it around. And then I start like, how long has it been? Oh shit, gotta hurry. And then I start like, it's almost like a scuba. If like you're trying to maintain your breath and you start thinking you're out of air, you start, oh shit, and then you're just using up more and more ammo. So I ran out. So I was like, that's it, 5, no matter what. Plus, I carry 5 because if I were going to go play in the apocalypse, I'm probably going to carry 5 or maybe 6 with me, just because And I carry, I had, for the 10K, I had 4 goos. I took one before, drank an entire thing of coconut water before I started. I took a liter of Scratch and a liter of water and a Camelback, separate tubes, because Mike said he did it last year and it worked well for him. I didn't take salt tablets because I read online that salt tablets draw fluid from your extremities to your stomach and can cause you to overheat. And I was like, maybe that's why I fucking, was in such bad shape last year, because as soon as I stopped and chilled out and had ice on me for, I don't know how long I was sitting there, for like 30 minutes, but it was like hours, that I just peed for that. The next 6 hours I was doing nothing but peeing, like all night. I mean, it was crazy. But then I carried 3 17 round pistol mags and 1 21 round pistol mag. And then
would you have carried more?
You almost ran out.
Yeah, I picked up 2 pistol rounds on the last stage because of that fucking dune tree, and I hit it. I cleared it, but I ran out. I just needed, same thing, like a couple more.
That's lucky to be able to pick that up off the ground.
I looked at the ground. There's 2 just sitting there staring at me. It's like, whoop. I mean, it was the point in the winter when I ran out of pistol that I was going to try to shoot a 9 out of my 40. I was so pissed off because I was like, dude, I got a handful of 9 here. I need, there's 6 plates in that plate rack at the very end. I was like, what's the worst that could happen? It's going to blow up, not down, right? But I didn't do it. So.
That's a winner's attitude.
Then I carried...
Can I throw rocks at it?
I carried 3 instant ice packs.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I carried my ice packs.
And I packed my shirt with ice when I left for the 10K. I had ice in my shirt, which really fucking started to hurt. And I had
this wasn't a good idea as he's running.
I had a gigantic straw hat on and a pair of pants that were ripped all the way up to the waistband. So
the straw hat.
The whole ass was blown out of those pants.
Yeah. I was
straw hat's got to go, man.
Well, at one point it blew off, and then I was wearing it looked like a bonnet.
That's air drag, man. That slowed you down. That cost you.
Yeah.
I gotta think that does. That thing's so big that it's just like,
I don't know,
dragging through there.
I'll admit, I was walking at one point and I was like, I gotta run. I was like, I gotta run to that shade up there, and then I'm gonna put water on my shirt and walk through the shade, and then run to the sun, and then walk in the shade. And I looked down. I was like, well, fuck, I look like Raiden out here from Mortal Kombat. I was like, I'm in my own shade right now. Like, I'm creating my own shade with this hat. But
you did make a good point when you're talking about how whenever you get to a stage and things aren't going right, and I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed of myself because, I get to the doing stupid stuff like, instead of just being, when for people that can't see, it's like you're frustrated so much that you're almost giving up within it, and then you got to be like, all right, snap back to it. But it's like, what the fuck am I doing whenever I'm doing that? Like this is gonna help. All right, what the fuck? That doesn't help. That helps nothing, right?
It's amazing how much in just that, just the seconds of that stage, all the thoughts that can go through your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh my gosh, is this a stage where everything's going to fall apart?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I missing? And then you're like, okay, now I'm starting to get a few hits. Things are going well, and all this stuff's just running through your mind. It's really crazy looking back on it.
Well, and where I was going is that I don't want to be one of those people that's like looking at the RO like, well,
you see how bad I'm doing? I'm not.
I don't know what.
I'm not usually this bad.
And they'll look over and be like, well,
yeah, that was a hit. Yeah. No,
I did tell Russ that at my stage. Like, I hit that, and you're like, I know, I just stopped it. I was like, oh, okay.
That's like a go-to thing. Like, was that it? Was that it? No, that was not a hit. But I heard it.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. So let's go through this course of fire.
Right.
So this is the summer run and gun. So we'll just do the 10K since it's got the 2 extra stages, because they always confuse the shit out of me the way they name them. But
it should just be named A, B, C, D.
Yeah. So 10K bonus 1 was a switch hitter, which you had on go. You had a barricade. You ran over the barricade, or you could and then you load your rifle. You get 2 hits from the right side. Then you had to do a mag change, and then 2 hits from the left side with your rifle. And you sling your rifle, put it on safe. You run over to another piece of cover, and you shoot 2 with right hand only, with no support, and then 2 with left hand only. I think they were both about 8-inch plates, weren't they, or something like that?
Yeah.
And
So we practiced.
yeah,
We did not practice no support.
yeah, I practiced right and left hand shooting like this because I thought, well, they just want you to pull the trigger when no one can see what I'm doing, but pull the trigger with that hand, right? Because that's what they said in the past. But when I got there, it was complete. And I looked like a damn fool out there. Like I was sitting there the first one I pulled off, and it was like I twisted the whole gun around, like, like, I hope no one's out there on the road, you know. And then I was trying to, so I finally got the rifle that was easy, right, for me. Like I had no problems, right hand, left hand. Right. The right hand shooting was a little difficult. The left hand, and when I figured out what I was doing today is I was shooting left hand, looking through my right hand or my right eye. Just realized that today. But at one point I was trying to pull the trigger, and I was like, I'm just hold it on the target, pull the trigger back, and I was like, why is this not going off? And I could see that I was pushing the barricade with my fingers, like trying to move, like slide the barricade back with the trigger. So I that's the stage I DQ'd on because I had 1 hit left on the left-hand shoot, and I could not make it happen. Mm-hmm. And I like the stage, other than like my typical thing. Since I suck at pistol, like that target, it'd have been more fun if that target was like 3 yards in front of me.
My dry fire practice it helped a lot because I'd been practicing. You know, that's something that the running guns that they've been making. I think the first time I did that was in Rock Castle, year before last, and then Al and Daniel were there, and they liked it a lot. So now they're starting to incorporate it, and you see it almost everywhere. This single hand shooting, and so I've been doing a lot of dry fire, and I'll do some live fire with it. And it pays dividends, and you can't see it if you're not used to shooting it. Yeah, it can sure eat your lunch, but I thought that stage was pretty fun. I mean, for the people that don't know, that's the very first stage. You've got what, probably 2.25 mile run to get there. So if you don't have any wait time, I mean, you got a pretty high heart rate by the time you get there.
Yeah.
But I had fun on that stage. I actually shot it decent.
That's the other thing that I don't think I give, I'm sure everybody else the same way. Like I don't put enough credit into the fact that like I'm not fucking tired, man, but you are. You don't realize it because you're wanting to fucking go, but I'm like, come on, what is it? What's the stage? All right, yeah, I know, I already read it, but they go through it, so it's all equal for everybody. And like, okay, let's go, come on, like, and in my head, I'm just like, let's do this, fucking clear this stage. I'm gonna whip this ass, but in reality, you're sitting there, like Shane's saying, your heart's like, and trying to sit there and hold a pistol steady with one.
But mentally, you don't feel like you're like mentally. You don't. I don't feel like I'm off.
I don't either.
I feel like I'm all right.
That's why I was so frustrated, is because I was like, the fucking pistol is pointed directly at the target perfectly, and I'm breaking the shot without the fucking thing moving. Like, why is it not hitting? Yeah.
So how'd you do on that stage?
I did okay. I finished probably. I think it took me. I didn't do it like in ultra fast time, but I think I did it in like maybe 50 some seconds, right? So it wasn't like some of those guys that did it in like 30 something.
Pull the results up.
Yes, you have to check.
I think the fast guys were doing it. I actually did pretty good on that stage, but I still got whipped compared to.
They did it like 30 some seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
faster.
Mine was somewhere between either it was like a minute 10 or 50 seconds. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I'm not even talking into the mic. Oh,
so
yeah,
do you have? I've got a spreadsheet with all my scores from the very beginning one.
You sent it to me, and I didn't comment.
All put in on so I can see.
I liked the stage. I thought I mean, a lot of times I don't like the whole idea of having to lay the rifle down on the ground, right? Like I don't like doing that. I like to be able to keep it on me, and
because you would in real life.
Yeah, and I wouldn't shoot around. I wouldn't do left right like that generally. Like I mean, I'm always gonna the deal is like when you do, I guess when you're
shoot your dominant
you're gonna and then you might combat roll out of a position, whatever like that. That's just kind of that's how it's.
Well, I think it's
trained
good
to you,
because
but-
like if you're ever in a building and that's the only option you have to like come out of a door is to check
shoot,
with the
yeah.
other shoulder, and then you're going to be.
But I don't have a problem doing it. Because I shoot left-handed, but I shoot right-handed too. So
What's up
that
with
was my thing going in. I'm left eye dominant, so I shoot rifle left-handed, and I was running a 1x6 optic, and so I remember running into that, and I knew what the stage was going to be coming up to it, and I was actually telling the guy I was running with, I'm like, man, I'm nervous about this because I can't shoot this rifle left-handed because I'm gonna have to
doesn't have Excel. I don't think
I'm gonna have to lean over to look at my scope with my left eye. I can't close my left eye. I have this weird deal, and got up there. I know, right? Yeah, got up there.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I got up there and pop, bing, bing, 2 shots right off the bat, and I was like, oh, okay.
Should have said shit.
Yeah, that's why I was like, went to the left side. Naturally, that's my side I shoot rifle on. Pop, bing, bang. Went to the other side, right hand pistol, doom, doom, got it. Went to
So you're using 2 hands in your reenactment.
I'm
so you were
sorry.
cheating.
I'm sorry. I got here. So then I went to the left side, which this is where I thought, I'm going to have no problem with this stage because I can shoot pistol left-handed. I'm left eye dominant. I got this. No. I was like, I made it. I didn't DQ like
me.
like Nick, but that was the same thing. Why am I not hitting this thing?
Yeah.
I know my sight's right there. What am I doing wrong? But I had to fire by volume to get it.
You did.
So, and I finally got it.
So
But,
bonus one.
I think I was 1:30 something.
Bonus one fastest time was 0.62 minutes.
So
So that's just a little over 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Faster than that, I think. Wasn't
On
it? Bonus one.
wait. Oh no, there it is. Bonus one. I was on B stage 1, not B bonus 1. First place was 0.68 minutes.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah.
Fast. That's fast. That's pretty fast.
All right, so I like the stage 2. I just wished I wouldn't have DQ'd it. So the stage 1, Bound for Glory, was on the fire command. Shooter will load his rifle, move to the first firing position to get 3 hits on a rifle plate at approximately 50 yards, and advance to 3 more positions, getting 3 hits at each position. Shooter may not shoot from anything higher than a kneeling position. Rifles must be unsafe during movement. So, did you like that one?
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty neat stage. It wasn't all that difficult, but I talked to a lot of people, including myself, that was just kind of had trouble getting hits because on paper it should have been so easy. The furthest to kind of explain it, basically you started and you had one plate, and you were running towards that plate. You had 4 different shooting positions, and so at the furthest you were 50 yards away.
Wasn't very far.
And so you went from 50 and then probably about less than 10-yard increments, and your last one was 25 yards. So me personally, I thought pretty good size plate, not that far away, and I just got in a hurry. And I started missing a little bit. And then after I kind of, now that was on my 10K, that was where once I got down in the kneeling position, that's where I could feel the cramps coming on. So here I'm trying to shoot, and I'm thinking, oh shoot, now I got these cramps coming up on me again. But yeah, it was a pretty straightforward stage. I think I liked the movement involved in it, and I think it was just it was one of those things. I think a lot of the motivation on all the stages of this summer was to reduce the backup and to try to get them through kind of Payco style where the stages are set up where they can be ran by the fast guys in 30, 45 seconds. That way you don't have. I mean, some people like those hoser stages where 2.5 minutes of just balls to the wall shooting, but from a logistics standpoint, then you got this long, huge backup. And
Yeah, it makes sense.
so, long story short, I thought the stage was fun.
Yeah, they said this is the smoothest running event they've had yet.
Dan got first on that. He obviously cheated and practiced beforehand.
It's his event. So on that bounding stage, I did the same thing. I underestimated. Number one, that was because that was actually the first stage that you approach as coming from the 5K, and so from the 15K or whatever it is, that's the first stage you approach. So I underestimated it, and I had my rifle. Number one, I had my rifle on 6 power when I ran up to it, and I was like, oh, and so I didn't even know where I was hitting. I was just like, ding, ding. But right off the bat, I hit it right off the bat 3 times, boom, 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 and I ran up to the next one. I was like, bang, miss, bang, miss, bang, miss. What the fuck is going on? And I had to find it, and then I still was flustered, like I couldn't get what was happening, and I finally turned it back to where it was on the I put it like 3 power because it was dark.
Yeah.
And
So that's actually what got me. I got a cheat code on the road. Cody came up. We were running past. Cody's like, "Hey, on stage 1, turn your power up to 3 because it's dark at the back." That hosed me. If I would have left everything on 1 power, I think I would have done it
He's
way
giving
faster.
you the wrong advice.
Yeah. So thanks.
He's
for
trying to
nothing,
win.
Cody.
I love that stage because that's what I feel like that's what my rifle's made
you took
for.
first on it, right?
I got third
Oh,
in the
third.
15K, but I thought I got first on it too.
First, second, and third in that.
First was Daniel. I mean, on the 15K, it's Dan got first. Who got second? Tommy Newton got second,
Oh wow, yeah, he's
and then
good.
I got
He's good.
third.
Did anybody shoot the ropes?
I did.
I did too.
I shot the ropes a bunch.
The ropes. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that stage, but like I said, that whenever we go shooting, I feel like that optic I use excels and stuff like that. So it was fun though. Stage 2 to Dream Killer, that's that fucking dueling tree with 6-inch paddles, approximately 15 yards from a firing position. You had to shoot them all over and then shoot them all back. And then, like we've said, you spent how many rounds?
I shot that full 33 round mag at it, and a 20. What are they? 23? Is that what those are? The Glock mags are 23 round. The one with the extended.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I
23 and a 32. So that's 33. So that's 56 rounds. I didn't have anything left. I know I had 1 bullet left in that, and on the second time I did it. The first time I did it, I did it less bullets, but took me longer time.
I shot it. Pretty slow compared to what I've been running it at home on my dueling tree, like 20 seconds slower. But that's just kind of the Pawnee factor, you know. But I was very consistent. I was consistently slow, you could say. The first run on the 5K, I think it was 45 seconds, and I was 46 on the 10K.
That's good though. So it's good to wear your times. So because you have to run the same stages twice, and if you're consistent with your with those stages, right? Sometimes people get better on the second time, but that would tell me that it's just a matter of like, okay, you're not practiced and you're not really warmed up.
Right.
But for you to be consistent with that tells me that you practiced it and you're confident with what you're shooting.
Well, it's like we were talking about before we went on. That stage is such a long string where you've got to really have everything together. I mean, your recoil management, your breathing, your stance, everything, because it is such a long. It's not just shoot a couple plates here and there. I mean, that's you've got to really have everything together. And you can see those guys are really blazing through it. I mean, they have it all together.
Nick was blazing through it, and then I told him he was blazing through it, and then that was the end of his blazing through it. He's had 2 paddles left, and it was just like
Mike's like, you're gonna be the fastest one, and
in like 17 seconds he had 10 shots in. It was that fast. It was like bing, 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 and then
completely done.
motherfucker, blah blah blah. Just like over and over and over. I was like, well, okay, 40-something seconds later.
Yeah, there's just magazines hitting the ground. There's like that.
I don't know what's going on.
That scene out of The Matrix when that helicopter's firing into the building and the cameras underneath, the shells are just falling. That's all it was.
On my second time through there, that big tree that was behind it, I shot, and the whole fucking tree came over like that, and everybody was laughing. I didn't think it was funny.
Yeah.
At the time I was doing it, I was like, God damn it! Why isn't it working? But the whole thing, I mean, it was a big tree, just went.
So we're acquiring a dueling tree because of this. So
but now it's gonna go away.
Everyone can thank us for buying this because they're going to get rid of it at the running gun.
Yeah,
There won't be any It'd be fun to shoot anyway.
We need to get one with 4-inch paddles and put it at 27 yards.
Actually, I shoot mine as much with a rifle from long distance, and that's extremely good. I don't shoot it close, obviously, but they're super fun to have around.
I did pretty good on that stage. 48 seconds.
You did good.
Started out slow, I think, if I'm remembering right. Had a couple misses, and then it all came together and just boom, boom, boom. But has to do a lot with Mike's beauty pageant ROing. Like, I'll be out there performing, and Mike's behind you, like pantomiming, like singing along with you, and smile and all this stuff,
cheering you on.
Yeah, geez,
it works sometimes because
it does.
Because there was another year that there was that dueling tree. It was the same place that the stage 1 plates were.
Oh yeah,
and I got up there, and Mike knows I fucking hate that thing, and I get in my head, and he's like, "Do it, you got it, man, you got this." And I went through, ding, 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 ding. He's like, "See, But I start the same thing, start trying to defeat myself in my mind, Except Mike completely fucked me that time.
Yeah, I did. I was like, "Come on, man!" Well, I was excited for you.
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, you told me you're like, "Oh, you're in there, you're competitive or whatever." So I was like, "All right."
Mm-hmm. You were.
I was 18. I got 18th best on that stage.
Well, you were competitive for that day because you ran on Friday.
Right, hot day.
So there are only people that beat you on that day
was the Fall Clan.
No, because
they ran Saturday.
So was the girl.
The girl beat me.
But she beat most everybody.
That hurts, man. But I mean, she's better.
She's really good shot. So what's her name?
Kelly.
So Kelly beat you. The guy with the red arm, the sunburn arm. Carter.
That's a birthmark.
Oh. Whoops. Sorry, man. I feel bad. I just thought it was because he rode with his arm outside the...
Man, you got that one arm for this sunburn.
And then... But that dude fucking flew through it. 20 seconds. Bing, 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 bing. Done. I was
he
like,
was
holy
making
shit.
fun of me because I took so much time. Like,
and then Cody beat you.
Well.
And Daniel beat you on that day.
He had the cheater gun.
Yeah, it's 22 seconds or something like that. There weren't many people that beat you on that day. So you did good.
No, I'm happy with it.
Did you see the fastest time on Saturday?
yeah, it's 14 seconds.
14
Yeah.
seconds.
On that tree?
Yes.
13 point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rounded up. Yeah, he just called it 14 seconds.
Gabriel. I don't want to say
Yeah,
his last
that-
name on
The
it.
guy that...
The big.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everybody
Yeah.
did this. Nobody knows what
He's
just
got
happened.
huge tits.
It was like huge tits. Gabriel with the huge tits.
It's got big chest tits.
I don't know him.
You know him.
Oh, okay.
He's this was the judge. And
Oh,
Really good shit.
the
Yeah.
guy with the huge tits.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
He's probably listening.
What the-
He's probably like, really?
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense now.
Okay.
So the next one was stage 3, which was you had a 500-yard target, a 300-yard target, and a 100-yard target. And when they said go, you had to shoot the 5, the 3, and the 1, and then shoot the 5, the 3, and the 1. And then
I'm the only one that DQ'd it one time, huh? Out of us three here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
did.
did with that fucking magic scope,
What?
Yeah, I hit the 500 every time.
dude. That 3.
Yeah, the 300 is what was giving
Yeah.
me trouble. And in my head, my internal clock on that was slow. I was like, oh, I got plenty of time. I would make my
Done.
hits count. And then Meeks was like, done. I was like, what?
Did I hit that?
I was like, what? And I got fucking pissed.
Well, you only had 90 seconds.
Yeah.
on that one.
In
Not
my
the-
clock,
not your
I had the
normal
2 minutes.
Right.
And I was taking my time. I was like, all right, I'm going to walk this in, this 500. Because I could see where I was hitting. Got him. Or got the 500. Had trouble with the 3. I was like, why am I missing this 300-yard shot? And then the first time I did it, though, when I laid down, down on the left side, right? And I was like, so the second time I came over, I was like, I laid down on the right side. And the second time I came over, I was like, get out of the way. Move over, because Meeks was in my way.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm laying down over here on the left side because I know where that 100-yard target was, because you had to
I shot through
shift
the
all
bushes, dude, on the second time because I did the exact same thing I did in the first.
Mm.
But I got up there, laid down, fired my first round, and hit it like in like less than 5 seconds. I was like, fuck yeah. And then it got on at 300 and it just continued to like sew around the damn thing, I guess. And then
What
finally,
was your time?
it was like 120, I think, or something like that. Let me see. I've got it.
I did the second one in 46 seconds,
Wow.
but I did the first one in
You DQ'd.
DQ'd.
I think I was 50
You
seconds
did
on
it
my
50.
first one, and then I was slower than that on my
I
second.
barely got that one. 1minute and 26 seconds.
This is
I had
bullshit.
4 seconds to spare.
This is bullshit. These are the things that we need to work on.
Yeah,
Or
so I was-
that
I was,
and that pistol shooting.
I was 117 on my first one and then 119 on my second one.
What was I?
Well, I'm looking at my card.
Oh.
Do you think you guys would have been faster if you could have went front to back to front, or what? Or
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
sorry,
Yeah.
you know, just,
I actually feel like
Were
I'd
you
have been
supposed to do
faster if I would have went from front to back,
Right.
which would, because they had it in the past. You could do that. You had
Yeah.
one at 300, one at 500, and it made it seem easy.
200, 300, 500.
But the 5, for whatever reason, this year felt real easy to me, like real
It
easy.
It wasn't easy
So-
for me, but
that's the first time I've DNF'd that stage probably every run and gun
really.
except for maybe one that I've ever done, and this is the first time I got back and got it.
I've DNF'd
So-
it twice since I started doing
But-
it.
So you shot it.
But they colored it bright orange, so that was good. So you couldn't miss it. But that 100-yard target that jacked up a lot of people
Because it was down in that.
because it was
gulch.
down in that gully, and I think you had to shift kind of down, and I got that one. I had a mag reload. That was the fastest mag change I think I've ever done in my life too, and I got it. And he's like, "Ooh, you had 4 seconds to spare."
Nice.
So I had a 20-round mag. I spent a whole 20-round mag on it.
Who was that? Oh, it was Jimmy. Finished that dueling tree stage in
159.59.
yeah, like
Holy.
1/10 of a second
Yep.
short of DQ.
He was getting frustrated, and I was
So-
like, don't stop.
They're not going to round up for him, but they rounded up for chin tits.
I don't round up for anybody.
No, he's just saying like instead of being 13:49, it's 14 seconds.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but-
yeah.
right.
sorry, Jimmy, gonna DQ. Gonna give you 1/10 of a second.
No,
man.
he was ready to give up. He kept looking at me like,
Doing the RO
like-
look.
I was like, go, man. You got 2 shots, 2 things to hit left. You got 9 seconds. He fucking bam, bam, hit him. Yeah, that was
How'd you do it?
It was no like RO advantage, no hometown, any of that. I hit the stopwatch and it was 159.59. I was like, that was pretty impressive.
I was slow on my first shot on the 500, just getting to it, getting in position, trying to be too precise. Where, if I would have thought about it, this time you weren't constricted with the number of rounds like you were in years past, where he said, you only got 10 rounds. So, man, I should have just got down there and started trying to throw lead instead of trying to be so precise with it. Plus, calling shots is a big deal, too, because it takes so long to get that feedback. I mean, if you know that you're on, then you need to be moving to the 3. If you have confidence that you're like,
You're right
you don't need
about
to
that.
wait.
It does
And that's
take-
where I've read, the guys that are like really good at shooting steel, they're not waiting for the reaction of that steel. I mean, they're calling their shot and they're transitioning. And now at the level I'm at, I can't do that. I'd like to get there at some point, but that's the difference between shooting it just average and shooting it really fast.
Do you think so? So I know that you don't use any magnification, right? But you got like fucking superhuman eagle eyes. That's different than me. Do you think that with a higher power magnification, do you think that would be easier or harder to do that stage?
I don't know. I'm going to red dot.
I've always wanted to see what
going
it's
red dot
like
this
to
winter.
shoot it with a scope, but I don't like scopes.
We'll
so
switch. You can use.
I don't want to run it. I just want
1x6.
to ride my motorcycle over there and my rice hat and shoot at it after it's over and see which one I like better.
Well, no, I saw enough people shoot that thing with red dots that are, I think, on par with my shooting. That I'm like, okay, I'm going to try a red
Really?
dot next year.
I've got no problem hitting that with
Yeah.
with a red dot for some reason.
Arn had that
Can't
red
see
dot.
that far.
Yeah.
Glasses.
I mean, it covers it up. Like
Right.
the dot covers the target. Like you can't see it, but I just look where it is, and then I cover it, and then I just when I bring it up, I'll fire like I'm trying to aim at the head of it because I know my rifle's zeroed for 300, and
Yeah.
and so it's what 18 inches or something supposedly by
drop
theory at that point, or 16. I can't remember. So I just know if I aim for the head on that target, I'll hit it. And so I do that every time. But I've always wanted to see if, because when I
funny,
deer,
he zeroed at 300, but the 300-yard target was fucking him up.
So when I'm like deer hunting, I've missed deer with a scope because I can see that crosshair moving so much. I'm trying to hold it so still, whereas when I'm shooting a red dot, I can't see that much movement in it. So I'm just continuing to like hold my regular breathing or whatever, and like, which
it's a more instinctual.
Which, you know, like Al told me, because I told him like, dude, I don't. It's hard for me to aim on deer long distance, and he's like, we need to pull your magnification off some. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, you know.
It's like this.
Right.
You ever watch TV like this?
I
can't see shit.
When I was a kid. But I like that stage. It was challenging, but it was still fun. So,
yeah.
And then that was it on that one, right? Yeah, you didn't have to mag change. That's right.
Mm-mm.
But like Shane's saying too, that but the transitioning thing. The other thing that we need to work on is when they tell me to go, I'm like,
Yeah.
Really?
yeah. I mean,
I'm
not
fucking a wild man. Too much so to like yank my magazine out of my pocket and threw it in the air.
I mean, I'm not like
oh!
I'm not like lollygagging, but I think I could cut some time off getting down there in the position to where I'm firing. Even though that first time I did it, I mean, it was really, I fired and hit the first one. Damn, that was fast. But
I saw that a lot as an RO. Watching other people, that's kind of cool about being an RO. You can see how other people shoot stuff, not specifically that stage, but how much time, you don't realize how much time people eat up getting into positions. Some fit people up to 20 seconds.
yeah,
That's a lot of time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Where I get boggled or bogged down is when because I do become so like wild, like I'm like
yeah.
you know, and trying to put that magazine in there, and I keep
ease it
missing
in
it
like a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no gentleman there. I'm like, but it's that's where I find myself messing up. And then target acquisition. Right after you get into position, you're like, oh,
Where is it? Where?
what am I looking for?
Yeah. All right. The next stage 4, was where you're sitting in the driver's seat of a pickup. You had to unload rifle in the passenger seat. You drew your pistol. You hit 3 hits on a face side target at the passenger side window. You then exit the vehicle, go to the back. You shot a dog 3 times, and then you go back to your truck, pull your rifle out, load it, and then you get 2 hits on a 10-inch target at approximately 75 yards.
This was the funnest stage,
Yeah.
but it was also the fastest stage. It was almost too fast. You couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty fun too, and there was a lot of conversation online about how people are going to exit that. And actually, Shane and I talked on the phone about it the night before, like how people are going to get out of that truck safely. And when I shot it, it never even felt
Unsafe?
like awkward at all. Yeah, and all I did is, I can't really remember. I just think I left the gun pointing. Like if that was some dude up to my truck and I shot him, but I didn't know if he was down or not. You know, like I climbed out of the car with it out like gangster style. You know?
I reholstered it,
Oh, you did?
and then
Hot reholster? You gotta throw it like 75 yards into a blue bucket.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. No, I just reholstered, then ran around, then shot it.
Shane was working that stage,
Re-gunned it.
and I think how Shane did that stage, I think a lot of people were doing that temple index and all that stuff because maybe they were thinking closed door, like you actually had to open the door. But the way
I was just
Shane
thinking
ran
there's no one in
was open.
I can get it if me and Shane are in a car and we're shooting and we got to get out. Like I can understand. I don't want to point my pistol at him. Like where's the safest place? Up, yeah. So I don't shoot myself in the legs. But like if there's no one there, there's no problem with me just getting out.
Well, so if the door was closed, I can see people in their frustration turning.
Just holding it in their mouth with their teeth.
Right, yeah. Like, you go to open the door, you're going to turn your body and probably turn your gun back towards the RO and all that stuff. So I was like, I can see where the temple index thing. But the way it was run, you just asked out of it. There was no reason why you should have done anything but.
I felt like it's faster for me to
Right,
ask out of it
exactly,
too.
yeah.
That's what I did. My butt was out. But I reholstered it just because I was like, I don't know if I should. I didn't know how I should run with it. You know, I didn't want to be like this.
So did the estrogen team? Did they run it the same way you did?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. They
or
left the
whatever.
door open. They didn't shut
the
it.
door
They didn't
was,
say anything.
The door was pretty much up to if you put your foot and wedged it open as the shooter, it stayed open.
Okay.
And then it just kind of swung. If once you got out, for some people it swung closed. I mean, Nick had a great time, and the door shut on him, and he had to open it up before it retrieved his
you
rifle.
had to actually manually open the.
He did. I remember.
Yes, I don't.
So
Really?
my first time, I closed the door on myself. Like I was
Oh.
like, I need to close. I
Yeah.
got to sit in here like I'm driving, and so I closed the door on myself. And then I was like, the second time
Put
around,
your seatbelt on.
yeah, I was like, buckle up.
10 and 2.
Did that thing even have a steering wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. Oh,
Yeah, I grabbed it. I don't know why.
but
I will say most everyone. I think I had 2 people on Friday when I was ROing that did Temple Index, and one of them was Daniel, and he did it extremely safe and really. When he came out, he planted that left foot and really pivoted around it and almost kind of squatted down, and it was very slick and very safe. But I still don't think he was. I don't think he was any faster. I believe my 2 fastest runs that day were Nick and Cody, and both of them backed out. So I don't think it was much of a time saver, and I think there was a lot of to do made of it. But I really think not to go down a rabbit hole, but I think a lot of the roots of that whole argument that took place had to do with 3-gun rules versus the kind of the freedom that running gun allows, and I think that was the underlying deal. I don't think it had anything to do with, Temple Index or whatever. But I thought it was a real fun stage. I didn't do very well.
I mean, I was like, I did that in 30 seconds. That's pretty fast. But wasn't even close to fast. Like this dude's like blazing out of there. I was like,
Yeah, the fast guy, I believe Sipe did it in 18 maybe.
yeah, like
And,
18 seconds.
Yeah, that's really
And my
golly.
first one was not
I probably-
30. It was like 34.
I probably hadn't even made it back to the truck to retrieve my rifle, in 18 seconds. I mean, that's unbelievably fast. But no, good stage.
I felt like those. I don't know if we were working on it or just practicing, but I felt like follow-up shots on those were a lot easier this time. I don't know if it's because the targets were closer or what. On that truck, it was easy to get bing bing like
On the pistol?
no
Or
on the rifle.
Yeah, I was all right. wasn't great though.
Some people struggle with it. Nick was extremely smooth on it, and it just felt good to him. And
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
what you needed someone to
yeah,
I felt like my follow-ups were pretty good. It's,
yeah.
no, I mean I did it. No, I didn't feel that way on mine. My follow-ups were shit.
The other thing too is I thought it was gonna be more difficult because I was like, I'm just gonna rest the damn rifle on the truck bed, and when he's changed like offhand, I was like, what? Oh fuck, but turned out being like, I don't know if it was just like I was so glad I was done shooting a pistol that I was right in position, felt good. So I liked that stage a lot. I did feel like it was so quick though. Like
You think it's enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
That's what-
Could have added a couple more.
Well, yeah, I
elements
wanted
to
to
it.
do it again. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, come on. Can we do
I-
best 2 out of 3?
I think maybe they should have made it where you had to reholster your pistol and lift that tractor tire into the back of the truck.
all right,
No.
so
You don't like that, Russ?
No.
You got dangerous.
Challenge yourself.
So-
Russ's stage.
yeah, stage 5, clear the zone. Firing position will be at the top of the hill, a lot of prone position. On the fire command, shooter will load his rifle, move to the firing position, and get 2 hits on each of the 3 targets at distance between 150 and 300. Targets will be no smaller than 4 MOA at 90 seconds. I like that stage too. And
I don't know about 300 yards. I don't think that.
That was not 300
No.
yards at all.
no,
It was
I-
less than 150.
It was the farthest one was 150.
Maybe.
Yeah, 165 maybe.
It was not 300 yards. Yeah, it was close.
I like that. I mean, it was fun. I thought.
They kept it inside the fence that time.
Yeah,
is
it
what
was-
it was. Normally they'll put it on the other side of that fence
Right.
further out.
I put on the other side of the fence, and then they stack tires up into it, and then you get up there in the middle of the afternoon,
You're like, where the fuck
and then
is
the
that
thing
tire?
is in the shade of this tire
Right,
house, and then
yeah.
you hit the tires, and for some reason they make this metal noise, and so you're doing the whole. Is that a hit? Bang! Is that it? No. Bang! Like, what the fuck, man? I've hit that thing like 8 times. Like, now you haven't hit it once. I hate that. I usually hate that
So
stage.
apparently there was a better way to do it than I did it. I just did it. I did it 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, right? Because my fucking targets were like wow, wow, like spinning all around.
That's why I gave everybody the option. I don't know how the guy ran it before me, but I gave everybody the option to move to the next target before they finished up the second target or hit.
Oh yeah, that's how I did it.
Oh, okay.
Actually I hit the first one twice, pretty
Right.
quick, and then
Your follow-up shots were
my
pretty
follow-up
good.
shots were pretty good. I mean, Shane, what do
Been
you
working
think?
on that.
But
Somebody can vouch for you.
the second one I hit did the same thing. It spun around, so I just went to the third one. Then I went back to the second one, then hit the third one again. I mean, I ended up doing really good on
You
that
did
stage.
fast, right?
Yeah, I got first on that one, didn't I?
Somebody
know.
did it in 18 seconds.
14.
Or 14 seconds.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Let's see who it is. Real quick.
Yeah, I think I was like 30. I didn't do very good. I did better the second time around on that one, but it should have been easy. But then damn thing started, they started
feels-
turning, and
Right.
then I'm like second guessing. I'm thinking split second. Should I wait for it to stop? Oh no, it's just going to keep turning. So now go to the next one. Well, that just wastes a lot of time. And Mike and I were talking to the judge afterwards, and he's like, "Well, your problem was you got to shoot it right in the middle." And Mike and I are both like,
I was like,
"Hell, we're just happy to hit the thing." I mean, forget about trying to hit it right in the middle.
Some dudes were hitting it bladed. It would spin on
Wow.
them, and they were still
they're
just-
splitting bullets,
or
and
they
then
were
they're hitting the second one,
yeah,
too, with
or
the
they were
split
hitting
bullet.
it right as it kind of would barely
Right.
turn or whatever. They were able to catch that second hit.
It was
So-
it was a fun stage, and it was it was pretty simple. Something a guy shouldn't
It was-
DQ on, and you ought to be able to do it pretty fast.
You made
it
a
ran
good point.
fast.
You made a good point though that we like you said that people were getting into position, taking longer to get into position, and I got into prone position.
Did you? I
And
kneeled.
so I got into prone position and moved all the way over to I was on the left or the right hand side of it so that I could see everything. And I'm left handed, so I got I told
I
Russ.
kneeled.
I said, Russ, can I get on the outside of that? And he's like, I prefer if you stay within the firing stake. So I was like, man, fuck off, Russ. I'm kidding. I thought you were
No.
gonna let me have cheat codes.
That's
Can I scoot down the hill a little
No.
ways?
That's RO Russ. That's a different Russ.
I kind of did a
Russ,
modified
not danger.
I did a modified kneeling position, kind of almost John. I was reading that Reluctant Partisan, and he does that kind of a forward lean in the kneeling position, and that's kind of what I did a little bit. And and they took that picture. I mean, it looks like a poser shot.
yeah,
And,
looked like a ninja.
yeah.
That looked like the flying
like
squirrel.
Trying to
position
avoid
me.
cramps.
Here, my nuts are showing
Yeah.
position.
Speaking of cramps, you got
Yeah,
one.
my
Yeah.
my. So in the last, it wasn't a cramp like a running cramp. It was more like a having sex cramp. You know what I mean? You're like,
I don't know what those
Oh,
are.
all right. Well, I went 1 for 1 on every one at that last run. I didn't miss one.
Hey, who's
I don't remember.
but I just didn't go
I
fast.
just remember your crank because you're like, "Damn," whatever. You locked up. We're
who
like,
has
"What's
my
wrong?"
reluctant partisan book? Do you still have it? You gave it back, right?
Greg.
Greg's got it? Okay. All right.
I'm sure he's listening.
Because I-
Now he's worried.
Because I gave it to you, and you didn't even put your hand. I'd had it for
You don't have
6
to
months.
text him. He's listening. He's listening.
You didn't even have it for. You didn't even hardly have your hands on it, and then you're like, "Hey, Greg, you need to read this too." And so you gave it to him. So
I figured the things are $70. I guess if
what,
John Mosby is listening to this, he's probably like, "Fuckers are taking money out of my pocket." But I'll let someone else read it. Do you? I'll read it if you let me. But I like that stage. And then the last stage was you got a shotgun you'd come up to. You had 4 shells and some bowling yard or bowling pins you had to knock over, and then you had to finish off with pistol. I actually ran out of pistol on this. I tried to try to get 2 pins with 1 shot of a shotgun, and it didn't happen. I just got 1.
What's the guy's name? Was it Tom? That's
Tom.
the guy who run
Yeah.
it? Tom and Andy. They're both like, man, you did really good. It must be the white suit you're wearing. Tom was like, only you and I can pull off the white suit.
yeah, I this stage was the one where it probably cost me the match. Really, because I just went to pieces, and this is what makes me mad is because mentally I was thinking I was cramping, I was hurting, I was thinking all I've got's one stage left to go. You know, I'm doing pretty good. I haven't made any bad mental mistakes yet, and I got complacent and I didn't keep that edge about me. And I got to this stage and there's nothing hard about it, and I couldn't hit those gosh darn pins. And it took me, I mean, it's embarrassing to say, but I think I was a minute. I mean, there were guys running this thing in 20 and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you, you let your guard down on one little bit and it'll bite you in the rear. And it did. And, you know, that's what makes me mad. Mentally, I let my guard down and should have bared down on it.
I do feel like on that one too, because, you know, like I said, I ran out of ammo. Like, I completely underestimated it because I was like, this is easy. You know, I knocked all 4 pins down with the shotgun. And I was like, this is going to be like, and then I started shooting. And I was like, I've got 8 rounds left, and I've got 4 pins here. And I like miss, like, I'm like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? And then got to the last 2, and I was sitting there looking at him like, are you serious? And I looked at Tom, I was like, I'm out of rounds. And then I looked down, and those 2 rounds are on the ground, like, or I had 1 pin left. That's what it was, because I missed one. I was like, oh, you got to be shitting me. And then I hit it. Like, thank God. But I totally thought that was going to be easy, you know? I mean, that's what you get, like Sun Tzu, you know? Like, I fucking, this is cake.
Underestimate those bowling pins.
I got it. I thought it's because we're on the same team with my hat. But,
That was my best stage.
Was it?
Of
What'd
the
you get?
whole thing. 4th.
good job, man.
0.43 seconds.
Nice
So,
job.
Less than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I did it in like 32 or something like that seconds.
Well, what's funny about that is I went into it knowing, okay, I have to have 8 pistol rounds. I look at my last pistol mag, I've got 10 rounds.
See,
And
that
so-
fucked with my head.
So I was like, all right. So went into it, shotgun, bop, 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 bop. And then went to pistol, and it felt real slow, and I just went 1 for 1. Had those 2 extra rounds left over. And then he's like, oh,
Did you throw them on the ground? Like, these are for Nick.
yeah. Those are the 2 you found.
It's like pouring your 40 out for your
Yeah.
homie.
But
These are for Nick. After every
what's
pistol
funny is
stage.
like that, I guess just kind of time slowed down or whatever. I felt like, because I was like, oh, I'm already gassed. This is the last stage, you know. And then he was like, oh, 20 seconds
He
or
told-
whatever. And I was like, oh, shit.
Did you do good on it, or?
Yeah, I did. I probably did it 30. I did it in like 30 some seconds, but the issue I had was loading the shotgun. I was like, how the
Yeah.
fuck do I do this? And I was like, no.
I went.
But I went 1 for 1 with the
live
pistol.
chamber,
Yeah.
and then 3, and then pop, pop,
Yeah.
pop, pop. Yeah.
That's what I did too. But I fucked it up at first because, you know, I guess I was tired. I was like, I'll do combat load, but I was trying to combat load it underneath instead of sliding to the side. And anyway,
I just left it on there and then slid it and then did that and then did.
Yeah, live, and then of all people, my son running it jams up the 870. How do you do that?
I know they were talking about it when I came in there. He's like,
Yeah,
I got
just-
some millennials in here messing up my shotgun. Like, what? He's like, I was working again.
Yeah.
But
It's like, yeah, so everybody didn't have a choice, because you actually had a choice what
Yeah.
shotgun you used, and when it came to us, we're like, no, freaking whippersnapper, jack this one up.
But there was an element to gaming. There was an element to gaming that one too, because you could choose the shotgun, you could choose the side that you shoot from, and you could choose the side that you want to start shooting from. Which obviously you're going to shoot the shotgun at the furthest target away,
see, I did the complete opposite.
See,
Did you guys have to set up your own bowling pins?
Yeah. That pissed
did I.
me off. Did you?
What?
Hold on, no, it didn't.
No.
I wish I could go back and do that.
So you
Because
set
then
them
I
up
would've
closer
set 'em up
together.
a little closer, and I could have done a 2 for 1 with the shotgun.
Yeah, that- if you
and
could
even
set 'em
done it
up.
in faster time.
No,
yeah.
Wait, you set yours up before you shot it?
Yeah.
I set mine up after I shot it.
No.
no, I fuck no,
The
I
old
didn't set
man-
mine up.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, now you got to help me set them up. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Tom
what?
was-
I said, are you serious? And he's
So-
like, yes. I set up 3. I'm like, all right, man, later. And he's over there still. Because I was like,
Help me set
So,
them
right.
up.
I even told him, I'm like, are you making everyone else do this? He's like, yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's that mustache.
I don't know. And plus he wasn't in the shade or anything. He didn't have the shade up.
He had a thermal underwear shirt on, too.
man.
And
That's what he. That's
wore
why he
painter's
said when he
gloves.
seen me coming, he was like, "You got your thermal underwear on, all right, boy." I was like, "That's a."
You got to be hot as shit out there.
Well, I got up there. The dude in front of me, shot them all down or whatever. So then I'm like, all right. So I get up there, and he's like, all right, you ready? And I'm like, I mean, there's no targets. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, you go get that side, I'll get this side, and we'll set them up, whatever.
Oh,
so
shit,
now,
how to stuck
yeah,
them
I
in
know.
that-
So now I'm like, damn it.
The bowling alley, there's a triangle.
Right.
Done.
I'm too honest.
One shot. Shotgun. Let's
Yeah.
shoot the rest of these in the air or what?
Right. Yeah.
Strike, bitches.
It's funny, man. As soon as I left that, too, I was like, that's it. I'm sprinting the entire rest of the way. And I took off running probably like 20 yards and then just like, and then started doing like this shuffle of my feet, got to the top and did that stupid low crawl and was done. Felt good. But
Man, I'm glad there wasn't that barbed wire crawl right at the 5K start. For some reason I was dreading that thing, and then they're like, no, you don't have to do it. And I was like, they kind of refreshed me. But then coming off the hill on stage 5, you had to do the damn barbed wire crawl, and you're already toast. Yeah. So that sucked. And then the very final barbed wire crawl sucked.
After we do these every year, I always get reignited. Like
to make your own?
To make my own.
I did too.
Every year, I'm always like, well, fuck, I want to make my own because I want to do certain things in here that are maybe a little more physically challenging, or maybe make a stage that's a little bit, that encompasses some kind of physical work to get to the target or whatever you got to do. Maybe not like crawling, but maybe got to pull something where you're working different muscles and I'm always like, man, I just
bench press competition,
squats.
No, I did the same thing because I was like, I want to make one out there on the deer lease, and I was like, I want to make it like an invitational. Like, hey, we'll invite 15 people, won't charge anything, and it'll be. But I just don't have the fucking time.
It's the time.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I love doing these. I love this one. I like, Al and Daniel did a great job. Cody did a good job. Everyone that helped, I think, did an excellent job. And, congratulations again to everybody that won it. Congratulations to you guys.
Bitches.
I mean, you did better than you did last time.
No,
you
I
did.
didn't.
You went down.
Yeah.
Actually, you went down too. So
Yeah, thanks.
never mind. Shouldn't have pointed that out. But, I mean, it really is a lot of fun. I say it every time. Like, if you haven't tried one, just try it, because the people there aren't like what you typically associate things like this with. It's not, you're not a bunch of assholes running around or whatever. So it's really, I don't know, they're fun.
What? Yeah, everybody there. If you need something, everybody's like, "Oh, I got it.
Well, it's funny.
Yeah,
We get done running. You got to go, don't you? Mm-hmm. Hey, pause it. Hey, Shane, thanks for having Shane in the podcast. I don't know what I was going to say.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me. I got to get up early in the morning, so I'm going to get out of here.
Okay.
But just in closing, for me, it was a real good event, and I love seeing those guys we don't get to see very much, and just shooting the bull with them. And it's funny because we're all competitors and we're all out to try to win it, but we're the first to share any information on a stage or help each other out any way we can, and that's just a kind of a weird camaraderie that we have with everybody, and it's pretty neat. You don't see that in a lot of other stuff.
You're right.
And I keep purposely calling it a match because I know that gets under Nick's skin. So
it's definitely it's a competition against yourself.
Yeah,
that's
it really
how I
is.
see it. Yeah.
I want to know how I'm going to act.
That's for people that lose.
Matches?
Fuck off, Mike.
Yeah. Hey, pause it real quick. All right. Well, thanks again, Shane, for being on the Spearhead Transmission podcast. Play a commercial real quick.
Okay.
Make sure and email us at xspearheadx@yahoo.com and check out our website at www.spearheadtransmission.com and listen to us on Libsyn, iTunes, Amazon, Stitcher, Dogcatcher, SoundCloud, Android, and like and share our Facebook and YouTube pages.
All right, that website doesn't exist anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What website?
The www.spearheadtransmission.com.
No. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't even know what our website is.
Yeah, we don't have one anymore.
Now we can talk shit about Shane.
I like Shane. I like the way he talks to you, and he's humble. Doesn't like to brag.
He doesn't like to brag.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about him.
He doesn't cuss, so it makes
that
me feel bad when I
So
cuss.
I feel bad when I brag and cuss around Shane.
No, we were kind of talking here after he left, and we're just before we started recording. Like, so we're RO day on Friday. It was kind of like, hey, just go whenever.
Yeah, you guys went on Friday,
and so I was like, fuck, I need to get over there. And I go back to my truck, and I'm loading all my shit up, and I don't know how many times I was counting magazines on my chest, and like, okay, I got everything.
Time to doorknob on your truck.
Yeah, like stepping, in, step out, in, out, in, out, in, out, like vacuuming the car. But anyways, like I get over there, and there's like 4 people in front of me, something like that. And they're like, all right, 10:08 or 10:10, something like, I can't remember. And then so we're just sitting around, dude. That was horrible. I usually the waiting I've done in the past, I've been running a stage before, but I'm just sitting over there, like with, small talking with people I didn't really know, and then I can't remember who the first one was, but this guy's like, hey, do you care if I go first because we're sharing a rifle and with so and so it kicked me back.
Damn it!
And then so I'm sitting there like I'm trying to think, like in my head too, is like I said to you guys, like I was trying to tell myself that I could get done before it got hot, but I was like this conversation in my head, like, no, it's gonna be hot no matter what, just fucking deal with it. Like, it doesn't matter when you leave, it's gonna be hot, even if you leave in 20 minutes difference, it's gonna matter. And then Daniel's dad comes over and he's like, hey, you guys mind if I cut in line next? So then I got kicked back again. I sit there like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm gonna sit here all day until it's like 3 in the afternoon and leave, but ended up leaving at like 10:28 or something, almost like exact same time you left. And it was just funny. I didn't like that waiting over there at all. I was like, and then he's like, all right, you got 2 minutes. And I was sitting there like bouncing in place and like, like, let's go. I was like, all right, you got a minute and a half. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, time has stopped here while I'm waiting to go. Like, let's just
like starting over there because you're away from everything. You're away from your gear.
Yeah,
and it is weird.
Yeah,
I definitely,
you're in limbo.
I like the idea of the 15K. I don't like starting over there on the 5K side for that. And the first reason is because I feel like my joints take a little bit of time to get loosened up. Yeah. And the run over there is usually like, all right, once I'm over there, then that going in the wood stuff is a little bit of a break, right? Yeah. And you can calm your heart rate down. But I felt like I needed to be like, take off like a rocket.
You needed some foreplay.
Right. And I didn't get it. I had to go straight to fucking right whenever I got there. And I had to sit over there like you said. I had to sit over there. I sat over there for an hour and probably an hour and 15 minutes before I went, and I was like, oh man.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and one thing that I was preparing for when I brought everything over, I didn't want to bring any extra gear over there because I didn't know if I'd come back there or whatever. So I was like, well, I don't know if the clouds are going to clear off and it's going to get really hot, so I need to bring as much water as I possibly can, and I was just I overthought it. I should have just
just run for us.
Yeah, that is the 15K. Like, I think it's good for the summer.
So what are we gonna do? So here's the deal, right? Here's the thing. So we get this.
So if we could keep
after we run these things, we get all fired up about trying to do better, right? And physically trying to take ourselves to a step, because we have a little group, right?
Yeah.
We have a group of people that we like to do this with, and we want our group to be the best group there is. I mean, that's the truth, right?
Yeah.
It's not right now.
No,
we're not the best group.
It's disheartening.
No, out-of-towners are.
And so that means we got to do something about it, right? And the outer-towners know that we want to do something about it.
So they're going to do it harder.
They're going to work harder,
which is good because it
only helps the sport.
Yeah, in reality, and it only helps you become a better person
right.
too. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being stronger and being faster on a pistol. And
those
a rifle,
guys were telling me that they've stepped their game up a lot by like just doing CrossFit. Doing. I know, but it changed.
You know what?
Them,
you
know what I mean?
In all reality, of all the shit I would give CrossFit, we'd probably like it. You know, what
probably would. I just don't like the bruh attitude.
It's
I just don't want someone to
it's
tell
the
me about it.
veganism of fitness.
It's the 3-gun of
Everybody
fitness.
has-
It's a 3-gun of fitness.
Oh,
Hey, what do you-
the
I'm-
3-gun of
I'm-
fitness.
I'm in I shoot 3-gun. I do CrossFit.
Yeah,
I'm a
vegan.
vegetarian.
The 3 guns is the complete opposite. It's like dancing fat men, right?
But no, so like yesterday that workout was perfect. It sucked. It was brutal workout. But like I don't
kinda
think
stayed that way.
yeah, if we can keep that level of intensity up, it'll be great. I mean, to run hills like that and then do deadlifts afterwards and pull-ups, I mean, was like when
Here's
I was
what
at
we'll do
work,
it, though.
people were talking to me. I was like, "Whoa, what?"
Here's what we'll do it though. I'll tell you what we'll do it. If there truly is a team event, because what happens and if you're my partner, obviously is going to hold you accountable, and you're going to hold me accountable on the days that I'm fucking.
Oh yeah, 2 top 5 finishers teamed up together. Oh, that's
We wanna win.
that's a challenge.
I want to. Yeah, I like winning.
I like to win.
No, it should be like you, Shane, anybody that's in the top 10, they have to get paired with somebody that's in the top bottom or the bottom of the pile.
It'll be
That's
like
a
The Rock,
challenge.
the movie.
Yeah,
Who am I right now? Am I Sean Connery or
yeah.
Nicolas Cage?
You got to borrow
Like,
a Humvee.
My Nicolas Cage.
we need
Never want to be Nicolas Cage.
We need Carl here to do that horrible impression. I didn't borrow your Humvee. Or I'm only borrowing it. Yeah, I'd be Nicolas Cage too. Well, gosh, lots changed since then.
I think a team event would be fun.
do too.
though Every damn running gun I've ever done has pretty much been a team event
Team
because I run with a friend. So
I'd like to see you,
yeah,
Russ. I'd like to see you step it up.
Yeah, this
Does
is
it- you-
for the
Man,
wintertime.
I have
Pushing yourself.
I have cave troll genetics, so I can't really. I'm not. I can't run.
Well,
Who's
fuck
that
it.
old woman in the schmuck?
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
walk quickly.
I look like a Russian. Yeah, I literally look like a
Babushka.
Russian grandma with my headscarf on. Even my own mom called me out on the Facebook thing on it.
I think you'd be surprised though if you started doing something. The changes that would happen so quickly. I'm not going to do this on podcast, but I mean seriously, like when one of our other friends Jay was working out with us back in the day, we're at this gym that was notorious for steroids. Like there's
Chemical
huge dudes.
We
in
can
there.
say the name.
Is that
Yeah,
what
it's gone
it
now.
was called?
Gone.
It's
Chemical
called the
edge?
Physical
physical
edge.
edge.
Oh,
But like one day we walk in there and the front doors kicked in. I was like, what the fuck? All the lockers are ripped open and apparently got raided by the cops because there's just so many steroids in it. But we weren't on steroids. But the point of the story was that one of our buddies that didn't work out was working out with us, and he's like, man, my bench press has only gone up 25 pounds in the 2 weeks. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Only
Like I would,
25
if my bench press went up in 25 pounds in 2 weeks, I'd be ecstatic. You know what I mean?
Maybe in
But-
a year.
yeah, but I'm telling you, like if you make if you set, and I'll say this too, like these running guns, like we're saying, I didn't used to run like this. I didn't used to work out as hard as I work out now. I mean, there's a lot of fucking
Jaw jack.
jaw jacking and fucking around. And the only reason I run now is because of these. Like that's the only reason I run. Which is good, because the older I get, for your heart and all that shit, right? And just for well-being. I know my knees will probably be fucked up or whatever later in life,
But
but
get robot knees, and then they turn on you.
yeah, not
Sign
gonna
me up.
Not gonna happen. But if you have a goal, like I want to make top 25, or I want to make, whatever, and I'm gonna make it fucking happen. Like if you just dedicate it, and shit will start happening pretty fast. I mean, but if you just got to be consistent, that's the only thing.
Right.
There's a lot of people going there like balls to the wall, kind of like we are right now, and then just drop off because like, oh man, I'm fucking sore as shit. Well, yeah, you worked out for 4 hours, like 45 minutes, good, but make those 45 minutes count, And
So Arn, for instance, last year, he didn't make it the 10.
No, he DQ
This year,
or dropped. Yeah,
he made it all the way through.
right.
That was a huge. I was proud.
Yeah, I like to think I had a little bit to do with that.
You did,
it's because it was a team event.
because you
Right,
guys did a team
okay.
event.
Did you coach him along at all?
Man, I did. I've kind of felt like a shithead.
Who's on that screensaver?
That's my wife. Yeah, I did. I mean, I would like, okay, hey, we're gonna run for 2 minutes. Let's see how far we can go and all this stuff. And actually, his pace was better than mine.
Really?
And then,
But he's lost like what, 50
It's wearing
pounds?
those
lost
fucking
40.
jeans when you guys are out there.
he's lost 40 pounds.
He didn't wear jeans though, did he?
No,
he wore.
I think
He
we
sleeps in jeans, doesn't he?
He wore his golf shorts.
Yeah, I wear golf shorts too. So, it's fun, but to me, it's a competition against myself.
Yeah.
Can I finish? And it's a test bed for my equipment.
Yeah, I agree
When
with
the
that.
apocalypse happens, is just my shit gonna hold up?
So
America
all
turns to
so
Venezuela.
Can I finish? Right?
Yeah.
'Cause right now, that's the competition for you. Is can I finish?
Can I finish?
Next is can I finish?
But here's the problem: is I've never not finished.
So then you need to step it up to the next level.
All right. Okay.
That's it. Like
Come on,
if-
motivation, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to watch that YouTube video I sent that says if you never take yourself out of your comfort zone, you'll never grow. If you have some goal you're reaching for or striving for that takes you out of there, you'll find you have some hidden abilities that you had that you didn't know you had. I just paraphrased it, but
I thought about going back to 5K, but
Why?
I feel like it's chumping out. Well, then I can be more competitive.
But the
Right.
idea of being competitive is pushing yourself physically.
Right. So I don't know.
You
What's
can
crazy, but so when you're out there running or jogging or whatever pace you're doing, it's funny as you'll go out there and you'll be like, other people will be at the same pace you're at. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing pretty good here.
mm-hmm.
And then I get my score sheet and I'm 57th out of 67. And I'm like, okay, I know 10 people, I didn't happen to run into those 10 people on the road.
Mistake
Right.
on it or anything, was there? Did you go through and look at yours to make sure?
I don't know. No, I don't think that. I think we always say that. We're like, oh, this ain't right. But I think it's right.
Like, forgot to
It's
put your
always
weight
right.
time in or something?
Yeah. Aaron didn't count his wait time. I did. That really hit him. I mean, that bumped him to like 62nd. And so I was 57th, and we were running
you guys
together.
yeah.
So wait time does play a big factor. So take your wait time. If you get it, take it.
Yeah.
If you want to be competitive. If you're just doing it just to do it, then I guess not. But the shooting, this is the first time I cleared every stage in a long time, and so that was a win for me.
That's big to be able to because they're like we say it's putting all the small things together and
Right.
sometimes it just doesn't come together. Like I failed that, but ideally it would be all of our group in the top 10 of the most competitive.
I'd love to.
event.
Last year when we left Pecos, Daniel got first, Al got second, some dude got third, and I got fourth. So it was like, we did the same thing the northern guys did. Came down there and got all those positions. I was like, man, if I would have just, of course, then I'm doing the same thing. Like, if I'd have just done this a little bit better, I'd have been third place, and we would have got 1, 2, and 3. But I think the same way, man. I'd like to see you. For one, I like to see everyone do well. Even I even like to see those guys up north. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, they did
because
good.
we know 'em,
Yeah.
right?
And like I know what they do to make that happen. Like they put a lot of time and effort into it. It's not like it just fucking is easy. I don't know about the guy from Montana. It was like, hey, where the fuck am I? Oh, here's a trophy.
I just fucking won.
But
These guys,
You can. I don't know.
that guy might never be back. He might be like,
Yeah.
shit's too
Yeah.
easy.
I'm
you
done with
can you can get caught in the doldrums or whatever, because when we first started doing this, I think one of the first times I was 14th,
oh yeah,
and then it moved back down to the top 25, and then now I don't think I've been in the top 25 since in the last
that's what you got to strive to get
five
back,
of them.
get back
So,
in the 25 and below or
yeah,
whatever.
now I'm below
Should
45.
be in the top 20 next year.
See, the
Of
thing, too, is
10K.
that-
Up in the winter. So that
Right,
gives you 6
so,
months
yeah.
to that gives you 6 months to push yourself to limits like that you haven't been pushed to in a long
You
time.
got to use that mic.
No.
Watch out.
Give you 6 months to push yourself to those limits. Dude, you can do it. You can do it. I'm challenging you today
Is this a challenge?
to finish in the top 10.
Everybody.
Well, they're not here, but
The group text needs to be.
Well, see,
1,
too.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is what you got to do right here.
There you go.
Hold on. You played this while you were exercising, it'd be. This is how I live my life.
Demotivated. This is what plays in my head when I'm ROing.
That way it's so happy
Yeah.
and positive. Huh.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, I did when I'm trying to find shit to fire me up. I did find this song, dude. This is the and you said that the music helped you.
Music is a game changer, dude.
Really?
Yeah, man. Because all I do is okay, song's coming up, and I know the beginning of the song, like a Meshuggah song. It starts up, and I was like, oh fuck yes.
Yeah.
Now this next 3 minutes is gonna be nothing but me. And then
As
after
opposed
that,
to
then
just
the
sitting
next song comes up, and
Saying
I'm
like, this isn't as hard for everyone else as it is for me. That's what I'm doing when I'm running. It's so much harder for me.
just new. Good. Got a groove.
It's good, dude. Witchery.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm listening to, like Mumford and Sons.
No,
so I
you
guess
do.
that's the wrong music.
You got to push it to the limit.
Oh, okay.
Switch over to Witchery, the song
Yeah,
called
like
Devil.
Fiona Apple,
Born of
Mumford.
Osiris.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know. What is that? Is that devil worshiping music?
Yes, yes.
Oh no.
Just don't pay attention to the words.
That's
Like I don't give a
okay.
shit about the
Just listen to
message. I just like the way it sounds.
Oh.
It'll change your motivate.
You show up chewing on your rifle barrel.
I'm not kidding, man.
Are you looking at me? Whoa.
When I came out of the woods the second time when I came out of the woods on the second time to come on that final 10K on the last coming back, going up that hill, I was like, that hill's there. And my playlist was perfect. It was just like
Push it to the
it was
limit.
Machine from Born of Osiris. That was like the Meshuggah. Then it was that reaping song.
By Living Sacrifice. That's Christian music there.
And then it was the Agony scene. And then there was the Pantera song. And dude, by the time I got to the other side, I was just like ready to just.
That damn road is really uphill both ways, isn't it? Somehow. I don't understand how.
It does have an uphill on both sides, but there's one that's a longer.
Short uphill going
to the 5K.
To the 5K start.
Uh-huh.
Long ass uphill.
That's when I started getting
back.
cramps, but
Yeah.
whatever.
So, yeah, that's why I kept telling her, come on, we're almost top of this hill. And, no, we're not. No, we're not. No, yeah, we are. Come on.
Gonna
Come
change
on.
your teammate there.
Yeah.
to change his mind.
Yeah.
You're right, we're not.
Yeah.
But come on.
Yeah. Just put a bullet in me. Just end it. So.
Oh shit. So the next one's in January. I'm going to Pecos in September.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be just back. I'm not gonna go.
I want to do more, but just time and
Money.
Exactly. That's it. These things aren't cheap. So.
Yeah. So once again, like we said, check them out. OKRunAGun.com. They'll be announcing, I'm sure, in a few months, right? Or when they open.
When the date, or they already gave the date.
Yeah, January 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's January 19th.
I want it to snow. I want like 8 inches.
Me too.
8 inches of snow on the ground and blowing like humongous
Sideways
flakes of
rain.
snow on the winter one. I think that'd be so fun.
Blowing?
Yeah, man. I want it to look like that scene out of GoldenEye on Nintendo 64 James Bond where you're going after the radar things and you're out in the middle of Russia or something, Siberia.
Yeah.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
No.
Boom, 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 boom.
Huh. I know that
You know.
station. GoldenEye's badass.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
played it.
Speaking of Siberia, did I tell you I got someone from Siberia on my ham radio? That's crazy, right?
They're lying to you.
Siberia. Where are you? I'm in Skokie.
He's in Stillwater.
Well, Russ, thanks for... are we done?
Yeah.
Oh, we're done? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Russ, thanks for coming over. You have to come by again. We have to have more guests on the show.
Well, your ratings dropped, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
See, You got that defeatist
Yeah.
attitude
I just
already.
got real down. I don't know. You made me depressed.
Our ratings went. Our ratings went up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what happened. Anyway, so thanks for coming over. Thanks to all our listeners, all our old ones and any new ones that we get. Make sure you check us out at whatever where our shit is. Libsyn.
Oh, fucking internet.
Yeah, just search Spearhead Transmission. If you got any questions, email us at xspearheadx@yahoo.com. Like and share our Facebook page, and that's it. I guess that's all I got. You want to say hi to anyone?
I'm gonna be a winner.
No, it's that,
Right.
dude.
That's right.
Don't beat me though.
People that I'd like people to send us their gear loadouts. I like that, Russ. And in the
Reasoning
emails.
behind, or if you don't
and the
agree
reasoning
with,
behind it.
agree with something you heard on here, like tell me why. You know,
for sure. And then like what kind of new type of gear? Because I seen a lot of new different carriers, different ways of things that being carried, and I knew that would happen over time. Is that people would start to, like, hey. This I like the way this works better. Like you guys are doing all battle belts with suspenders and stuff, or whatever. Good ideas. So
I wanna
send
get
us that
some
stuff.
of those shoes, those Nickelodeon moon shoes with the springs in them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, trampoline feet for my next one. Like, how'd you get here so fast? These fucking shoes,
Can you
man.
imagine wearing that shit?
No,
No,
it'd be
fucked up.
yeah,
Well, Mike was wearing astronaut underwear.
yeah.
That's right, I was, and it helped. That's why I didn't get any cramps. Other than that, love making cramp at the top of your hill.
Oh yeah.
So I was in the prone. All right.
All right. See you next time.
Adios, muchachos.
Accessing your mind. Programming started. Thank you for listening to the Spearhead Transmission. We know you enjoyed your experience. Please come again and partake in our ridiculousness. There is so much more to explore. Remember, your mind is yours. You are not part of a collective. You will start to think independently if you seek the truth. Stop buying the lies. Water that tree of liberty, and you will break those chains of mental slavery. You are beautiful and heroic. Until next time, goodbye. We love you.